Welcome to the Hidden Wealth Coins. What if the loose pennies in your pocket are hiding a secret worth thousands, or even a life-changing fortune? From a mysterious 1944 steel penny to the legendary 1955 double die, these ordinary-looking wheat pennies have shocked collectors with unbelievable value. One tiny mistake, one rare condition, and suddenly a 1-cent coin becomes a treasure everyone is chasing. People have unknowingly spent coins worth a fortune. The real question is, could you be holding one right now without even realizing it? Before you spend that penny, you might want to take a closer look. First up, imagine reaching into your pocket and pulling out a simple, ordinary-looking penny, only to discover that it could be worth a fortune. Not just a few $100s, not even thousands, but potentially life-changing money. That's the mystery and excitement surrounding the 1951 wheat penny. At first glance, it looks like any other coin, something you might ignore or even spend without thinking. But hidden within certain rare variations of this coin lies a powerful story of rarity, error, and collector obsession that has turned some of these pennies into treasures worth shocking amounts in today's market. The 1951 wheat penny belongs to one of the most beloved coin series ever produced in the United States. Known for its iconic wheat stalk design on the reverse, this coin was part of a long-running tradition that started in 1909 and continued until 1958. These coins were made primarily from copper, giving them a distinct reddish-brown appearance that collectors admire. While millions of 1951 pennies were minted, only a tiny fraction hold extraordinary value, and those are the ones that collectors dream about finding. What makes a 1951 wheat penny potentially worth thousands or even more is not just its age, but its condition and rarity. Coins that have been preserved in near-perfect condition, what collectors call mint state, are incredibly valuable. These coins show no signs of wear, no scratches, and still have their original shine. When such a coin is found from 1951, especially with strong details and color, it can command prices far beyond what most people expect from a simple penny. But condition alone isn't the only factor that can make this coin extremely valuable. Minting errors play a huge role in boosting the worth of certain 1951 wheat pennies. Errors are rare mistakes that occur during the coin production process, and they are highly sought after by collectors. For example, a double die error, where the design appears slightly duplicated, can turn a regular penny into a highly desirable collectible. These small differences may be hard to notice at first, but once identified, they can significantly increase the coin's value. Another important factor is the mint mark. In 1951, wheat pennies were produced at different mint locations, each marked with a small letter on the coin. Some of these mint marks are more desirable than others depending on how many coins are produced and how many have survived in excellent condition. A rare combination of mint mark, condition, and error can create a perfect storm of value, making a single penny worth far more than its face value. Collectors are always searching for coins that stand out, and the 1951 wheat penny has become one of those hidden gems. Over time, as more people have become interested in coin collecting, the demand for rare coins has grown. This increased demand has pushed prices higher, especially for coins that are difficult to find in top condition. It's this growing interest that fuels the idea that a simple penny could one day be worth an incredible amount of money. There's also a psychological factor behind the fascination with coins like the 1951 wheat penny. The idea that something so small and ordinary could hold immense value captures people's imagination. It turns everyday objects into potential treasures and makes people look twice at the coins in their pockets. This sense of possibility is what drives collectors and treasure hunters alike to keep searching, hoping they might be the lucky one to find a rare and valuable piece. In some cases, collectors have paid astonishing prices for rare pennies, especially those with unique features or historical significance. While not every 1951 wheat penny will make you rich, the possibility exists under the right circumstances. Coins that have been certified by professional grading services and proven to be rare can sell for impressive amounts at auctions, sometimes surprising even experienced collectors. However, it's important to understand that not all claims about million-dollar pennies are realistic. While certain coins can reach very high values, these are usually exceptional cases involving extreme rarity and perfect condition. The idea of becoming a billionaire overnight from a single penny is more of an exciting dream than a common reality. Still, that doesn't take away from the genuine value that some of these coins can hold. If you happen to come across a 1951 wheat penny, the first step is to examine it carefully. Look at a condition, check for any unusual features or errors, and identify the mint mark. Even small details can make a big difference in value. It's also wise to keep the coin safe and avoid cleaning it, as cleaning can actually reduce its value by damaging the surface. The world of coin collecting is filled with stories of unexpected discoveries, where ordinary people have found valuable coins in the most surprising places: old jars, drawers, or even loose change. These stories add to the excitement and encourage others to start looking more closely at the coins they already have. The 1951 Wheat Penny is one of those coins that keeps this sense of adventure alive. As time goes on, coins like the 1951 Wheat Penny become even more interesting to collectors. Fewer high-quality examples remain, and the historical connection to the past becomes stronger. Each coin carries a piece of history, a moment in time that have been preserved in metal. This combination of history, rarity, and beauty is what makes coin collecting such a fascinating hobby. It's also worth noting that the value of coins can change over time. Market demand, collector interest, and economic conditions all play a role in determining how much a coin is worth. What may be considered valuable today could become even more sought after in the future, especially as new collectors enter the market and compete for rare pieces. In the end, the 1951 Wheat Penny represents more than just a coin. It represents possibility. It reminds us that even the smallest things can hold great value under the right circumstances. While not every penny will turn you into a millionaire, the chance that one might is enough to keep the excitement alive. So before you spend that old penny without a second thought, take a closer look. You never know what you might be holding in your hand. It could be just another coin, or it could be a hidden treasure waiting to change your fortune. Second up, there's a coin out there that looks so ordinary, so harmless, that most people would spend it without a second thought. Yet in rare cases, it has shocked the world with jaw-dropping value. The 1955 Wheat Penny is one of those legendary coins. At first glance, it's just another 1-cent piece from the United States, but hidden within certain versions of this coin is a stunning secret that has turned it into one of the most talked-about treasures in coin collecting history. The story of the 1955 Wheat Penny begins with a design that had already captured the hearts of Americans for decades. The wheat ears on the back symbolized prosperity and strength, while the front carried a familiar portrait that defined an era of U.S. currency. By 1955, millions of these coins were being produced, circulating through everyday life, passing through hands in shops, markets, and homes without anyone realizing that a few of them were destined to become legends. What truly sets the 1955 Wheat Penny apart is a dramatic and unforgettable minting mistake known as a double die error. This is not a small flaw that you need a microscope to see. It is bold, clear, and almost unbelievable when you first notice it. The numbers and the date, the letters and the words, all appear doubled, as if the coin was printed twice slightly out of alignment. This striking visual effect is what transforms an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. When people first discovered this error, many were confused. Some thought it was damage, others believed it was fake. But over time, experts confirmed that this was a genuine minting mistake, making the 1955 double die Wheat Penny one of the most famous era coins ever created. Its uniqueness and visibility made it instantly desirable, and collectors quickly began searching for it with intense passion. Now here's where things become truly exciting. A regular 1955 Wheat Penny is usually worth only a small amount, depending on its condition, but the rare double die version is in a completely different league. In high-grade condition, where the coin is well preserved with minimal wear, its value can skyrocket into thousands of dollars. And in near perfect condition, with sharp details and strong original color, it has been known to reach astonishing prices that leave people speechless. The idea that a single penny could hold such value creates a powerful sense of wonder. Imagine finding one of these coins in an old jar, a forgotten drawer, or even loose change. That moment of realization that what you're holding is not just a coin but a rare piece of history can be overwhelming. It's this possibility that keeps collectors and treasure hunters constantly searching. Condition plays a massive role in determining the value of a 1955 Wheat Penny. Coins that have been protected from scratches, dirt, and wear over the years are far more valuable than those that have been heavily used. The original shine, known as luster, adds another layer of desirability. A bright, untouched coin can attract serious attention from collectors who are willing to pay premium prices. However, it's not just about how the coin looks. Authenticity is equally important. Because the 1955 double-die penny is so famous, many copies and altered coins have appeared over time. This is why serious collectors rely on professional grading and verification. A certified coin carries much more trust and can significantly increase its market value. There is also an emotional side to owning such a coin. It's not just about money. It's about holding something rare, something that tells a story of an unexpected mistake that turned into a masterpiece. Each double-die penny represents a moment in history when the mint produced something truly unique, something that would capture attention for generations. Over the years, demand for the 1955 double-die wheat penny has remained strong. As more people learn about it, the desire to own one continues to grow. This increasing demand, combined with a limited number of genuine examples, creates a powerful force that pushes prices higher. It's a classic case of rarity meeting obsession. Some stories surrounding this coin sound almost unbelievable. People have found valuable coins in the most unexpected places, turning ordinary moments into life-changing discoveries. While not everyone will experience such luck, the mere possibility keeps the excitement alive and encourages people to look more closely at what they have. At the same time, it's important to stay grounded. Not every 1955 wheat penny is worth a fortune, and not every coin with a strange appearance is a rare error. The difference between a common coin and a valuable one often comes down to specific details that require careful observation and sometimes expert opinion. Still, the legend of the 1955 wheat penny continues to inspire. It reminds us that value can hide in the most unexpected places, waiting to be discovered by someone who pays attention. It transforms a simple coin into a symbol of opportunity, curiosity, and the thrill of the hunt. So the next time you come across an old penny, don't dismiss it too quickly. Take a closer look, study its details, and consider the possibility that it might be more than it seems. Because in rare cases, that tiny piece of copper could hold a story and a value that has the power to completely change the way you see the world. Third up, there is something incredibly thrilling about the idea that a simple, old coin, something most people ignore every day, could secretly hold enormous value. The 1953 wheat penny is one of those coins that sparks this kind of excitement. At first glance, it looks completely ordinary, just another 1-cent coin from the United States. But hidden within certain rare versions of this penny is a potential for surprising worth, making it a fascinating subject for collectors and dreamers alike. The 1953 wheat penny comes from a long-running and iconic series of coins that featured 2 wheat stalks on the reverse side. This design symbolized growth and prosperity, and it became one of the most recognizable coin styles in American history. By 1953, these coins were being produced in massive numbers, circulating widely across the country and becoming part of everyday transactions. Most of them were used heavily, worn down over time, and eventually forgotten. However, not all 1953 pennies are the same. What makes certain examples stand out is a combination of condition, rarity, and small but important differences that collectors pay close attention to. A coin that has been preserved in excellent condition, one that still shows sharp details and original shine, can be far more valuable than a worn-out piece. These high-quality coins are much harder to find today, which increases their desirability. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the possibility of errors, and the 1953 wheat penny is no exception. During the minting process, small mistakes can occur, creating unique variations that were never meant to exist. These errors might include slight doubling in the design, misaligned strikes, or other unusual features. While they may seem minor, these imperfections can transform an ordinary penny into something truly special. The mint mark on a 1953 wheat penny also plays a role in its value. Coins were produced at different mint locations, and each location left its own small mark on the coin. Depending on how many coins were made at each mint and how many have survived in good condition, some versions can be more desirable than others. Collectors often search for specific combinations of mint mark and condition to complete their collections. What makes the idea of $1 million penny so powerful is not just the actual value, but the possibility it represents. While it's true that most 1953 wheat pennies are not worth huge amounts, the rarest and best preserved examples can still reach impressive prices. The thought that such a small object could hold significant value captures the imagination and encourages people to look more closely at the coins they already have. There is a certain mystery surrounding coins like the 1953 wheat penny. Over the years, stories have circulated about rare coins being discovered in unexpected places, inside old jars, hidden in drawers, or even found in pocket change. These stories fuel the belief that valuable coins could still be out there, waiting to be found by someone who takes the time to look carefully. Condition remains one of the most critical factors in determining value. A coin that has never been circulated, meaning it was never used in daily transactions, is especially valuable. These coins often retain their original color and luster, making them highly attractive to collectors. Even a small difference in condition can lead to a significant difference in price. At the same time, it's important to understand that not every unusual-looking coin is valuable. Some marks or distortions may be the result of damage rather than a genuine mint error. This is why experienced collectors often rely on careful examination and, in some cases, professional grading to confirm the authenticity and quality of coin. The 1953 Wheat Penny also carries historical significance. It represents a specific moment in time, reflecting the economy and daily life of the early 1950s. Holding such a coin is like holding a small piece of history, something that has traveled through decades and witnessed countless changes in the world. As interest in coin collecting continues to grow, coins like the 1953 Wheat Penny become even more appealing. New collectors enter the hobby every year, increasing demand for older and rarer coins. This growing interest can influence market values, sometimes pushing prices higher as more people compete to own the best examples. There's also an emotional connection that comes with collecting coins. It's not just about money, it's about discovery, curiosity, and the joy of finding something unique. Each coin has its own story, and the possibility that it could be valuable adds an extra layer of excitement to the experience. Despite all the excitement, it's important to stay realistic. The idea of becoming a billionaire overnight from a single penny is more of a dream than a common outcome. However, that doesn't mean these coins aren't valuable. Under the right conditions, a rare and well-preserved 1953 Wheat Penny can still be worth a significant amount, making it a worthwhile find. In the end, the true power of the 1953 Wheat Penny lies in its ability to turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. It reminds us that value is not always obvious and that sometimes the smallest things can hold the greatest surprises. So before you spend that old penny without thinking, take a closer look, because you never know what hidden treasure you might be holding in your hand. Fourth up, there's a coin that looks simple, small, and almost worthless, yet in rare cases, it has shocked collectors by reaching unbelievable prices. The 1944 Wheat Penny is one of those legendary coins. At first glance, it's just another old copper penny from the United States, something people have handled millions of times. But hidden inside this year is a rare mistake so powerful that it has turned a 1-cent coin into a piece of treasure worth thousands, and in extreme cases, even hundreds of thousands over $1 million. The 1944 Wheat Penny comes from a historic period during World War II. Just 1 year earlier, in 1943, pennies were made from steel instead of copper because copper was needed for war equipment. But in 1944, the mint returned to copper coins. However, something unexpected happened. Some leftover steel blanks from 1943 were accidentally used again. This mistake created one of the rarest coins in history, the 1944 steel Wheat Penny. Coin Codex. Now this is where the story becomes truly powerful. Most 1944 pennies are made of copper and are very common, but the rare steel version is completely different. It has a silver-gray color instead of the usual brown or red tone. And here's the shocking part. It sticks to a magnet. That one simple test can reveal whether you are holding an ordinary coin or something extremely valuable. Coin Codex. The rarity of this coin is what gives it its incredible value. Experts believe that only around 20 to 40 of these steel pennies were ever created. That means millions of normal coins exist, but only a tiny handful of these rare ones survived. Because of this extreme scarcity, collectors are willing to pay enormous amounts to own one. Coin Codex. In today's market, the value of a genuine 1944 steel Wheat Penny can be absolutely shocking. Depending on its condition, it can sell for tens of thousands of dollars, and in top condition, it can even cross into six figures or more. Some reports suggest values reaching hundreds of thousands and even approaching or exceeding $1 million for the finest examples. This is why people call it a fortune coin. Fiendaccounting.com +1. But not every 1944 penny is valuable. In fact, The vast majority are worth only a small amount, often just a few cents to a few dollars depending on condition. This is where many people get confused. They hear about million-dollar pennies and assume every old coin is valuable. The truth is, only specific rare types, especially error coins, carry that kind of worth. Fiendaccounting.com. Condition plays a huge role in determining value. A coin that looks new, with sharp details and original shine, is far more valuable than one that is scratched or worn out. Collectors use grading systems to judge a condition, and even a small improvement in grade can increase the value significantly. Bullion standard. Besides a steel version, there are other errors in 1944 wheat pennies that can increase value. Some coins show doubled letters or numbers, where the design appears slightly duplicated. Others may have off-center strikes or unusual mint mark errors. These mistakes make the coin unique, and uniqueness is what collectors are always searching for. Bullion standard. Another factor that adds interest is the mint mark. In 1944, pennies were produced in different locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint produced millions of coins, but certain rare combinations, especially when paired with errors, can make a coin much more desirable. There is also a powerful emotional and psychological side to this coin. The idea that something so small and common could secretly be worth a fortune captures people's imagination. It turns everyday change into a treasure hunt. People begin checking old jars, drawers, and collections, hoping to discover something extraordinary hidden in plain sight. Many stories from collectors and communities highlight this excitement. On forums like Reddit, people often say that a normal 1944 penny is common, but if it's steel, it can be worth tens of thousands or more. One user explained it simply: if it's copper, it's ordinary, but if it's steel, it's a completely different story. Reddit. However, there's also a warning side to the story. Because these coins are so valuable, many fake or altered versions exist. Some people try to change the color of coins or modify dates to make them look rare. That's why experts always recommend proper testing, like the magnet test and professional verification before making any big assumptions. The dream of becoming a billionaire overnight from a single penny is exciting, but it's important to stay realistic. While the rare 1944 steel penny can reach incredible values, such coins are extremely rare. Still, even finding one worth thousands of dollars would be a life-changing moment for many people. In the end, the 1944 wheat penny is not just a coin, it's a symbol of hidden value. It reminds us that mistakes can sometimes create greatness, and that even the smallest objects can carry powerful stories. So before you spend that old penny, take a closer look. If it's just copper, it's a piece of history. But if it's steel, you might be holding a treasure that could change your entire future. Fifth up, there are coins that pass through your hands without a second thought. And then there are coins like the 1948 wheat penny, quietly carrying potential to surprise, shock, and even change someone's life. At first glance, it looks completely ordinary, a small copper coin from the United States, worn by time and use. But hidden within certain rare versions of this coin is a level of value that has captured the attention of collectors across the world, turning a simple penny into a symbol of unexpected fortune. The 1948 wheat penny comes from a period when the United States was recovering from the effects of World War II. These coins continued the classic wheat design that had already become a familiar sight in American life. Millions were produced and used in everyday transactions, meaning most of them lived ordinary lives, passed from hand to hand, spent without thought, and eventually forgotten. But as always in the world of coins, a few rare examples escape that ordinary fate. What makes the 1948 wheat penny interesting is not just its age, but the hidden details that can separate a common coin from a valuable one. Condition is one of the most powerful factors. A coin that has been preserved carefully, with sharp details and original luster, stands out immediately. These high-grade coins are rare because most were used heavily, and finding one in near-perfect condition today can be a big deal for collectors. Beyond condition, the true excitement begins with the possibility of errors. During the minting process, small mistakes can occur, sometimes barely noticeable, sometimes clearly visible. In 1948 wheat pennies, collectors look for signs like doubled letters, slight misalignments, or unusual impressions. These errors are not just flaws, they are what make a coin unique. And in the collecting world, uniqueness often translates into higher value. The mint mark also plays an important role in determining how desirable a 1948 wheat penny might be. Coins were produced in different mints, and each one added a small identifying mark. While millions were made overall, certain mint combinations, especially when found in excellent condition, are harder to come by. This rarity increases their appeal and can push their value much higher than expected. Now here's where imagination meets reality. The idea of $1 million penny sounds unbelievable, almost like a fantasy. And in truth, most 1948 wheat pennies are not worth that kind of money. However, under the right circumstances, perfect condition, rare era, strong demand, a coin's value can rise dramatically. While reaching millions is extremely rare, the possibility of finding a coin worth thousands is very real, and that alone is enough to spark excitement. There is a certain magic in the thought that something so small could carry such importance. It changes the way people look at everyday objects. Suddenly, that old jar of coins in a drawer becomes a treasure chest full of potential. The 1948 wheat penny becomes more than just currency. It becomes a mystery waiting to be solved. Collectors are driven by this mystery. They study coins carefully, searching for the smallest details that might reveal something special. A slight doubling in the date, a clean and untouched surface, a rare mint mark. These are the clues that can turn an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. It's a process that requires patience, knowledge, and a bit of luck. Stories of unexpected discoveries add to the legend. People have found valuable coins in the most unlikely places, hidden among old belongings, mixed in with common change, or passed down through generations without anyone realizing their worth. These stories fuel the belief that valuable coins are still out there, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. At the same time, it's important to stay realistic and careful. Not every old coin is valuable, and not every unusual feature is a rare error. Some marks are simply the result of damage over time. This is why experienced collectors emphasize careful examination and, when necessary, professional verification to confirm a coin's true value. The 1948 wheat penny also carries a deeper meaning. It represents a connection to the past, a physical piece of history that has survived decades. Holding one is like holding a small part of a different era, a reminder of the people and events that shaped the world at that time. This historical value adds another layer of importance beyond just money. As time goes on, coins like the 1948 wheat penny become even more interesting. Fewer high-quality examples remain, and the demand from collectors continues to grow. This combination can influence prices and make certain coins more valuable in the future than they are today. It's one of the reasons why collectors hold on to rare coins, waiting for the right moment. There's also an emotional thrill that comes with the search. The idea that you might discover something rare, something valuable, something hidden in plain sight. It creates excitement and curiosity. It turns a simple hobby into an adventure where every coin has a potential to surprise you. In the end, the 1948 wheat penny is a perfect example of how value is not always obvious. It teaches us to look closer, to pay attention to details, and to appreciate the hidden stories behind everyday objects. While not every coin will make you rich, the chance that one might is enough to keep the dream alive. So before you spend that old penny or ignore it as something worthless, take a moment to examine it. Look at its details, its condition, its uniqueness. Because somewhere out there, a simple coin like the 1948 wheat penny has already changed someone's life, and the next one could be waiting in your hands.